Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how Kevin O'Leary lost $500,000 on Shark Tank. Let's get right into it. Over his 30 plus years of experience as an investor, Kevin O'Leary has come to understand that not all investments yield returns. As a regular investor on the popular TV show Shark Tank, O'Leary has invested approximately $8.5 million in around 40 different companies since its launch in 2009, according to Sharkalytics. Despite a few notable victories, such as an investment in Plated, an online meal kit service that was later sold for $300 million, he has also encountered losses and setbacks along the way. Kevin O'Leary has had his fair share of disappointments as an investor. After being in the game for a significant period of time, he has realized that no matter how confident or optimistic you are when investing, you can never truly predict the outcome. He states that the moment you invest and make a decision, you have zero probability of knowing what the future holds. In an interview with CNBC Make It, O'Leary further emphasizes that anyone who claims to have a foolproof investment strategy is not being honest. In his view, it is impossible to guarantee success in the investment world, and those who claim otherwise are not being truthful. O'Leary's experiences have taught him to always approach investments with a degree of caution and skepticism, even if the opportunity seems promising at first glance. O'Leary has learned from personal experience to trust his instincts when it comes to making investments deals. Although he did not disclose the name of the company responsible for his worst Shark Tank investment, he revealed that it was a telecommunications startup that ultimately cost him $500,000. O'Leary explained that he initially invested $250,000 in the startup, only to receive a distressing call from the founder just 4 months later. The founder informed O'Leary that all the cash had been spent, but that he had learned from his mistakes and needed an additional $250,000 to keep the company afloat. Despite O'Leary's initial misgivings, he agreed to invest the additional funds, ultimately losing his entire investment. You put $250,000 on a deal, and then the guy calls you up 4 months later saying, "Look, I burned through all the cash, but I know what I did wrong. I need another $250,000. O'Leary says, describing the fateful investment. O'Leary admits that the quick loss of his initial investment in the telecommunications startup set off alarm bells in his head. His instincts told him that the investment was not a good one, but the founder of the startup convinced him to reinvest by admitting his past mistakes and promising to take a different approach. Despite his reservations, O'Leary invested an additional $250,000 in the startup, motivated by his personal relationship with the founder and his desire to see the company succeed. Looking back, however, he realizes that he allowed his emotions to override his better judgment. "In my stomach, I didn't feel right about it," O'Leary says. "My gut said no. But because I knew the guy and I liked him, and he was a friend, and yada yada yada, I gave him another $250,000. O'Leary acknowledges that he quickly realized his first mistake after investing an additional $250,000 in the telecommunications startup. Despite the founder's promises to fix his approach, the company continued to spend recklessly, burning through the second investment in just 2 months with no positive outcomes to show for it. The outcome was disastrous, with O'Leary losing a total of $500,000 on the investment. He admits that this was a hard lesson to learn, but it taught him to become more cautious when investing and to trust his instincts, rather than allowing personal relationships to influence his decisions. O'Leary believes that had he listened to his instincts and avoided reinvesting in the telecommunications startup, he could have prevented the additional losses. His experience has taught him to trust his gut, as it reflects the knowledge and wisdom he has gained over time as an investor. This experience cannot be forecasted or taught in a textbook, but is instead learned through real-life experience. O'Leary also notes that his money-losing deals tend to have a common theme: startup founders who are unable or unwilling to pivot their strategies when faced with obstacles or setbacks. He believes that founders who are unable to listen to the advice of others and adapt their approach as needed are likely to encounter difficulties and fail in the long run. O'Leary refers to founders who are unable or unwilling to pivot as stupid because their rigidity prevents them from changing their tactics and habits. Even as the world around them evolves, he emphasizes that it is crucial for entrepreneurs to adapt to changing circumstances in order to succeed in the long run. While disappointing investments are an unavoidable part of the investing process, O'Leary expects the majority of his investments to fall short of his expectations. He believes that out of 10 investments, only 2 or 3 will be successful enough to offset the losses from the other failed investments. Despite his acceptance of the inevitability of some failed investments, O'Leary is still bothered by his worst ever Shark Tank investment because he did not trust his instincts. He acknowledges that ignoring his gut feeling was a costly mistake that he cannot forget. While it is true that Kevin O'Leary's net worth far exceeds $500,000, his loss from the failed investment in the telecommunications startup is still significant and undoubtedly painful. This is surely more of a blow to his pride than anything else. Surely he must fix his strategies or regard himself as stupid when investing in 10 businesses and only 2 succeeding. That seems like a repetition of failure. That's all for today. I'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.